Hello and welcome to the We Recommend podcast, a movie podcast where every week we recommend a movie for you to watch and then come back here and listen to us discuss. I'm Jesse.
I'm Jason.
He hates these cans! Stay away from the cans! Because this week we recommend The Jerk.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah. All right, so did you know this was the 9th highest grossing picture in the U.S. for 1979? It made over $100 million
Wow.
on a budget of $4 million. And this ranks like a lot on a lot of people's like best comedies,
Yeah.
like very high up. Like IGN gave it like the 10th. And I think there was a more prestigious website that I can't remember the name of at the moment that got put it like on the 20th. So like, does it still hold up?
Yeah, I think so. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So many funny things.
I know it seemed like I could just listen to him just list things and I would just laugh every time. I'll take this. I don't need anything except for this. And then like when he gets to the mansion and he starts listing every room, it's so funny.
Yeah, you remember how I always wanted all this shit?
A clamshell bathtub. Yeah, it's so good. And there's just something about Steve Martin that, especially like towards the end when he's dancing, like right before he's about to lose everything,
Yeah.
and he's just dancing with this girl. There's just something, I guess because he's so big and tall and lanky, that it's just like his movements are just like funny to me. He's like
It's
a baby deer trying to figure out his feet.
Like that baby elephant that people have been making fun
Yeah.
of on TikTok.
Yeah. There's just something about Steve Martin that just cracks me up.
He's such a showman.
Yeah. But I'm just like wondering, would you rather watch like a movie like The Jerk or like a newer comedy? It's like, is this, I don't know. So I guess so I feel like this is a very gag heavy movie, right?
Yeah.
It's almost like the plot doesn't matter at a point where it's just like,
Exactly.
do you wish like the comedy was like weaved into the plot better or more, or like a more like a plot that makes more sense and there's just wacky characters in it? Like, which one do you prefer, or just like a straight up gag heavy movie?
I don't know. I guess it depends. I mean, with someone like Steve Martin, he's so incredible that he could do either one, I feel like,
Yeah.
and I'd still watch it.
Yeah.
But as far as like a newer comedy,
Like, I think of like a good comparison for this is like Hot Rod and The Jerk are very similar movies, except it feels like there's more normal people in Hot Rod versus like the wacky
Maybe.
characters are wacky, but the surrounding characters are just like the mom. There's like a normal mom in it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess The Jerk has that with the black family. So maybe they're the same.
There's a few normies.
I
in there.
definitely have a type of comedy that I like that. Hot Rod, The Jerk, they're the same movies.
Well, I think the plot of The Jerk is really, how did he get sad?
It's like, yeah.
Like, because he's so happy.
Yeah.
So fucking
All
happy
the
all the
time.
time. I think that's the whole plot.
And even in the end, he still has his friends and this thermos.
Yeah. It's uncool. What do you call it? His unending shit.
I don't know words like you. I don't know words like you. You're gonna have to finish that one yourself.
You just cut that out.
But so what about the beginning when he's doing his voice as the homeless person? I feel like I remember the first time watching it being like, what the fuck is this gonna be?
It's very
This is gonna
strange.
be bad.
He's supposed to be drunk.
And then he drops the, I was born a poor black child. It's like, now we're in it. And then we cut to him like
so he's
dancing
an idiot.
and trying to keep a beat, which I really relate to.
I've always had good rhythm.
I have never. I don't get it, and I never will.
So is he supposed to be a child?
Bro,
When they go
I don't know. I think it's so
They
hard
go back
because
to
of
the
Steve
sun.
Martin, and he looks like a 40-year-old since he came out the
always
womb.
looks- yes.
He came out with like an ascot on How to His Mom.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's stylish.
Steve Martin, hot or not?
Yeah. Sure. I mean, I'd fuck him.
Yeah. You'd roll away. Okay. That's good enough. All right. So people
I'd
love
show him my special purpose.
Yeah. People love this movie. Even Stanley Kubrick and David Lynch, you know, two weirdo directors that you wouldn't expect to like comedies, you know. But so even like Stanley Kubrick loved it so much that he would often recite lines from the film to cast and crew on films. And he once invited Steve Martin over to play chess.
Oh, that's fun. But that was wacky.
I would have loved to see that. It's probably the boringest day you'd ever see.
Oh, I wonder if he was, if in private, he's just like the most boring. That can't be.
Steve Martin.
It's impossible.
Or he just like walked in with his banjo because he loves playing banjo.
Hell yeah.
Did you ever watch a lot of his SNL stuff?
I watched some of it.
Wild and crazy guys. And the King Tut dance. It's like that shit. He's got such a, I don't know, just a way of movement that I just enjoy vividly.
I just, I wish there were more people who, I mean, he's kind of one of the last classically trained actors that did a lot of his classic training stuff. Like,
Yeah. He's got his bits and he does it.
He does a lot of dancing.
Yeah.
He used to do magic. Like, he wanted to be a showman his whole life. And a lot of people now, like, if you learn to dance and sing in California now, and like in Hollywood, nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, everybody can dance and sing.
Well, they're like, we don't want you to dance sing.
It's the land of dancing and singing over there.
You just got to be hot.
Yeah.
And have a voice.
Sure. It's something I miss back in the old days, you know. You didn't have to look good to do anything. If you just had something, they're like, get on.
It's a more merit-based acting.
Get in front of the camera. It's like because I feel like everybody now just kind of conventionally looks attractive all the time. And if they start off not looking attractive, they're just going to end up becoming attractive.
Yeah, we'll put you in comedies until you get hot. And
it's like you see Jonah Hill, like when he started off, and you're like, oh, this looks like a funny guy. And now you see him, he's like, bro, what the fuck? like now if I walked in a room with you, I have no shot. I guess Steve Martin and the director, Carl Reiner, they carpooled every day on set because of the gas shortage.
Oh, wow.
And every day they came up with at least one joke and a new way to like add it into the film. So
that's fun.
That's why it's probably all over the place joke-wise. Let's see. So a lot of the things in this movie came from Steve Martin's stand-up act, I guess.
Cool.
Like he always like would lead like with a joke that leads to I was born a poor black child. And then the I don't need anything, but then like picking up a bunch of objects, that was something he did in his stand-up bit. And another fun thing, Bill Murray actually had a cameo, but they cut it out.
Good.
It's like, come on.
He didn't deserve to be in this movie.
And according to Steve Martin, his favorite line in the movie is when a man in a truck stops and asks St. Louis, and he replies, "No, Navin Johnson." So that's his favorite bit.
I used to growing up, I used to hear people mention the shit and Shinola thing a lot, and I had no fucking idea what they were talking about.
Yeah, well, now you know. You're gonna do just fine. That's all you gotta know. Shit
what
and
is
Shinola.
Shinola? Is that shoe shine?
I assumed it's dip. That's why you don't want to pick up shit, because you don't want to put it in your mouth.
I guess.
Yeah. So the film originally had 2 trailers. Back in the day when you only had like 1 or 2 trailers for a movie instead of a teaser trailer for the teaser, a teaser trailer, and then a trailer, and then you get 3 more trailers, and then the TV trailers.
Is the teaser for the teaser when they just put the date and like
and the
on
title,
a black screen, and like maybe like
the title,
a flash of like an actor, or maybe the title. You don't even always get the title.
I want one where it's just like it's a teaser trailer. It's just like the month it's going to come out, not even a day or a date.
No sound, nothing.
It's just like
12. What is it?
12. It's like, oh my God, it could be anything.
We should do that when we finally decide that it is going to hit us.
Yeah.
We should do that.
Yeah.
So everybody's like super excited about
It's
it.
like,
And then they show up and they're like, oh.
It's like, wait, is it 12 this year? Is it December this month or this year or like 5 years from now? You'll have to wait for the teaser trailer for that. We just teased the teaser trailer.
Oh, man.
So had 2 trailers. The first one, which has not been seen since. This was a tongue-in-cheek presentation that began with a large printed message for theater managers only. Steve Martin is sitting at a desk talking to the camera. He lets the theater managers know that he is in on the fact that moviegoers are morons and that they will go for anything. Describing his new movie, he says that the film has everything: a love scene, a high-speed car chase, guns, a dog, and more. Plus, it has some boring scenes so that the audience will go to the lobby and spend some money on snacks. As he describes, are the extremely brief clips for each of the above. While copies of this trailer exist in various archives, it is not available for streaming anywhere.
Wow.
So I'm assuming they show like the dog probably walking. The love scene is probably just him in bed with the girl where she looks dead. And then the car chase is probably just that when the director is like, I couldn't even yell cut.
Oh, yes. I couldn't called it too late.
It's like, yeah.
So stupid.
I know. It's like then everybody at the party starts taking it off and they're like,
oh, man.
It's a good bit. It's a good bit. All right, just two more. So Steve Martin and the dog got off on the wrong foot when he accidentally dropped mittens on the animal's face.
Damn. Oh, shit.
From then on,
But
a coward when he tried to pet it. Martin recalled, it was miserable. He hated me.
But they're not heavy.
Well, it must have been a really
sensitive dog.
The dog had PTSD.
I guess.
Every time he saw mittens, he cowers.
Yeah.
Just like goes into shock.
Maybe his owners put on mittens before they beat the shit out of
I mean, who knows? Like maybe he had like an owner that used to just like, because like at some point you're going to end up putting your socks in your dog's face because it's hilarious, right?
It is funny.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's like, so maybe like they did that all, like he had kids that would just constantly put mittens on his face.
Oh, you mean like over the snout?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I never did that. I was just like, when I'm folding laundry, they'll be sitting there not doing, like not moving, and I'll just lay it on their head.
The snake loves if you put your socks on his nose. He's such a
does he prefer dirty socks?
I think he definitely prefers dirty socks.
Nice.
Just because after he's done, he like.
I do too, honestly. Yeah.
Just sniffs the hell out of it. But then he's always like wagging his tail like, oh, that was fun.
Man, I'm so high.
I will suffocate it. It is fun. He does enjoy it, I promise. So, Steve Martin's favorite moment of the film, as he detailed in his 2007 memoir, Born Standing Up, was the scene in which he and Bernadette Peters sing Tonight You Belong to Me. Martin felt the moment was touching and waited in anticipation at the film's premiere screening in St. Louis. Unfortunately, much of the audience left during the scene to buy more popcorn. I love that scene. The song is so good.
Oh, yeah, when they're on the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cute song.
Yeah, it was great. And then I was just like, man, I can't remember what the bit is here. And then she just pulls out the horn.
It's amazing.
Oh, it's so good.
It was just really her playing it, or no?
I don't know. I couldn't find anything about, almost like anything about her, really. Except that, like, they wanted somebody else, but then they got her, and she's kind of perfect in it. She got that voice. That weird, like, I feel like that voice like went away after the 1970s. There's like a bunch of actresses that could talk like that, and now like nobody does it.
Yeah.
It's like, is that how she actually talks? Or is that just a voice she puts on for the movie? Because it sounds like a joke.
Ooh,
constantly.
Gotta find out. She's beautiful.
Yeah, I love what she's laying in bed, and like before he even said, you look dead, I was like, Natalie, she looks like a fucking vampire.
She's making good vampire.
Oh, the weeks. But he's talking about the weeks and how many days they feel like, or how many weeks the days feel like.
I just love how he just goes on.
Just on and on and on. It's like, anyways, I'll tell you tomorrow.
But everyone's so patient with him.
I know. Because everybody's slightly dumb themselves.
Well, they don't, it's almost like they don't want to extinguish his beautiful light.
Yeah, I know.
With the realities of the world.
And I feel like 5 years after this, he just became dads in movies because his hair went completely white.
Yeah.
It's such a shame. I mean, you get think movies like Three Amigos and stuff, which he's great. Yes. I need to rewatch that. I've only seen that like once as a child.
I don't think I've seen it all.
I wonder if they're still good. But I love me some Martin Short and Chevy Chase as well. Who do you prefer out of those three? Chevy Chase, Martin Short, and Steve Martin.
Steve Martin.
Yeah. I don't know. I've been kind of like really digging Martin Short.
Martin Short's fucking great
He's
too.
so good. He's in Clifford. Have you ever seen Clifford?
What, the dog?
No. It's a movie with, hold on. Yeah, it's Martin Short. And it's with Charles Grodin. And Martin Short is obviously this middle-aged man playing this child who's just like destroying Charles Grodin's life. We will do it eventually. It's so funny. You just need to watch it. It's so wacky. I wish we did it. We will.
We will.
Yeah. All right, man. You random son of a bitch bastard. Are you ready to get started?
Yes.
This is a great movie where it's just like you watch it and then you talk with it to a friend and it's just like, that's so good.
Everything.
And then you kind of like don't remember like the long, like kind of quiet pauses between like bits and stuff.
Like when he's carrying the dog.
Yeah.
For no reason.
No reason. That's actually it. No, the whole movie's perfect. Never mind. You're right.
Okay.
All right. The Jerk, 1979. Good year. Good wine. Good year.
Was it?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I don't think I've ever had wine. I've always get fresh wine. You know?
Yeah. So what do you think? We're a bunch of chumps? Bring me the newest wine you have. Man, I wasn't even meaning to do that bit. I just said wine like a dummy. And then I forgot that there was a wine bit in the whole thing. God. Wow, this movie's so my wheelhouse. It's wild. He's just like, he's so annoying to the point where it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Because I'll do stuff like that to my wife where I'll just like keep going on. And she's like, are you ever going to stop?
I can't.
It's
I've
like,
got on this boat. I can't get
it's
off.
like, not until you tell me to stop. The bit is, I won't stop till you make
Just till everyone leaves the room.
Yeah. All right. So the movie starts. Navin R. Johnson, a homeless bum, directly addresses the camera and tells his story. I was born a poor black child. Weird voice. It's great. It's just like, it's just me, my friends, and my thermos. Such a weird voice. I don't like it. I don't like that
I know,
voice.
it's super weird. Like,
it makes me uncomfortable.
Is he just trying to be drunk?
He's just trying to
Just
be
sad.
a homeless man.
Just like super sad and drunk.
It's like, I don't know. It's like, I've never made a homeless man talk like that, but they look like they should talk like that, which maybe that's why that makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I don't know. Makes me think of homeless people inside.
Yeah, it's sad to think that they're mentally unstable.
Yeah, and I also feel bad for those, I forget. I just thought about they got a new house and it's just like 2 times bigger, even the door and everything. All right, we'll move on. We'll have to get there. So David is the adopted white son of African-American sharecroppers in Mississippi who grows to adulthood naively unaware of his obvious adoption. The large family lived in a small shack. It's a large family. Very large.
Man, they're so fun.
I know. It was great. I would have loved to grow up in this family. They just seem to have a good time
Just
constantly.
dancing,
And they're
singing,
so
all that.
nice to him.
Hell yeah.
He stands out in the family, not just because of his skin color, because he also has no rhythm. When his adopted family plays spirited blues music, he can do it.
And his favorite meal.
Yeah. Dude, we should talk about his clothes in that scene. Like, his pants were so high up. It's how old is he supposed to be? It's like his pants like come up to like the mid of his calves. It's wild.
Maybe he just is supposed to be like they're so
Poor, they can't afford it.
Like,
I guess.
clothes to fit.
So he's just been wearing the same thing. It's like, it'd be funny if we found out he was just 18 years old.
I know, like, I think that's what it is, though. I think that's what it's supposed to be.
I guess so. I don't know.
Even though his hair is completely gray.
Right, yeah. And at dinner, they're eating food, and then it's his birthday, so they give him white people food.
It's your favorite meal?
Yeah.
Tuna on white bread?
Yeah, because they're bringing out food, and it's like collard greens, and it's like this, stereotypical.
Oh, it sounded so good.
I know it does. The cornbread, though.
Hell yeah.
But when he like breaks off that cornbread, I'm salivating. This is tuna sandwich and a fucking Twinkies.
And some Twinkies.
Yeah. All things that I would have not eaten. I've never had a tab.
They taste like shit.
Tabs
to me. Yeah, I don't like.
Are they just like carbonated water with a little bit of? Are they like?
It's like a cola, but it's like a weird like
very off-brand.
Very.
They were everywhere for
You know,
a
like
while.
that carefree gum?
Mhm.
That's what it kind of reminds me of.
So it's like as soon as it gets in your mouth, you lose the flavor.
You're like, oh, that's not good.
That's almost something.
But it's almost a flavor.
Yeah. But as he gets his meal, he's so happy. People start giving him gifts. And I feel like this is probably where he gets his constantly naming things, because somebody gives him a gift and then someone else here. So he had so much family that maybe that's why he's like, the bit is that he just constantly names things maybe. And he gets sad and he runs away. Apparently, when filming, the director and Steve Martin didn't tell the family that he was going to do that. So like their looks were all like, what the fuck? It was like a real look. And then also, thank you, everybody. God bless. God bless everyone.
Tiny Tim.
He's sad because he feels different compared to everyone. His mother finally tells him he's adopted.
I'm going to be this color forever.
So good. And then like one of his brothers comes in. I brought you your tuna sandwich just the way you liked it, wrapped in cellophane. It's like, what? He's unable to dance, but then all of a sudden, while he's laying down in bed, a like champagne style song,
yeah, and then he like snaps on accident or
something like that. And the song starts playing, and and he's starting to get it. He goes buck ass wild. He runs into his grandma's room. I can do it! Look, everyone, I can do it!
I was like, what the fuck,
it's
man?
Like, okay.
It's like,
but he sees this as his calling and believes that this is the kind of music that inspires him to go out in the world and be somebody. He decides to hitchhike to St. Louis, where the song was broadcast. Love it, because it's just like this big goodbye, just to stand out of his fits.
Yeah, he throws out his thumb.
Dude,
God damn.
Me and my buddy Richard growing up, that was the funniest thing in the world. We cried laughing when it's just like, oh, he's going to start walking.
Nope.
And it's funny because we would make such a big deal out of that part. And now when I rewatched it, I was like so amped for it. And then I was like, oh, it's just such
It is really funny though.
It's just such a small thing. And I remember we went,
so stupid.
It was like the next day we went to church and we were just cracking up still about the movie. And we're telling them all the bits. And they, like a lot of the people went home and watched it and they're like, what? This is the movie y'all are cracking up at? Because, it's kind of like slow and like very low key comedy, especially for like the 2000s when like Superbad and all that was coming in.
Yeah.
So I was just like, y'all didn't find it funny? We're still laughing about it a week later.
30 years later.
Yeah. So then the family's sad and that he's leaving and wonder how he's doing. So that one girl just pops her head out the window and asks how's he doing.
I love the truck.
Yeah, then he eventually gets the ride.
Where are you going? To the end of this fence.
It's like, all right.
God, this is going to be a hard journey.
It's like, so what's your name? All right, we're here. Oh, thanks for the company. Oh, but we forgot because this is where we get the before that we get the shit and skull bit.
The shit and shinola.
As they're leaving, they're all like, just remember, Lord loves a working man. Don't trust Whitey. And if you get it, find your purpose. See a doctor and get rid of it. And it's like, Lord loves a working man. Don't trust Whitey. See a doctor and get rid of it. Got it. And then then we get a bunch of montages of him getting rides. And on the way, he stops at a motel where a dog wakes him up by barking at his door. What's that? Fire? Right.
He even says yes.
Yeah, like he says yes. Yeah. Because it turns out that dog's a little shithead.
He's a little asshole.
Navin thinks the dog's trying to warn him of a fire and decides to name the dog Lifesaver. He wakes up all the hotel guests to rescue them, but then he realizes it was a false alarm. One Asian man angrily suggests he calls the dog Shithead, which Navin takes literally. It's so good. It's just like, why? What's the point of this? It's such a random, pointless scene, except to get the dog.
Yeah, that's what it was. Well, I guess it was because Lassie was huge back then.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess.
That's true.
So this is like
there's a big Lassie movement.
Anti-Lassie.
Yeah.
This dog is not going to help you.
Yeah.
In fact, like doesn't even want to be around you.
Attacks him often. And then we see Navin. He takes a bunch of more cars and eventually reaches St. Louis. Navin stops at a gas station, fills his lighter with gas so he can use the bathroom. Got the tire rim bit. So he's just like trying to will it on the ground. It looks like
He's just dragging it.
I know it's
He's
supposed to
too
be
weak.
heavy, but I'm like, is he trying to like will it like it's supposed to be a will? So he's like struggling to pee with it. So
Just
good.
pee outside.
But then while at the urinal, Mr. Harry offers him a job. It's like, how about this? Clean the toilets and you'll be the president of this company. He's like, wow, just got to clean the toilets. Like, no, haven't you ever heard? You got to work your way up. And he's like, well, which is it, man?
10 minutes. He already wants to be the president.
Yeah. I love that guy. That guy is hilarious. I love the way he talks. So Navin gets a job and he ends up getting a place to sleep at a gas station owned by Mr. Harry. A hard town.
Oh, this is great.
He gets excited when he thinks the bathroom is going to be his home.
I'll be over here so the customers can use the bathroom.
Yeah, put my bookshelf here. He's so excited. Good bit. Harry says he can pay him by sending him a postcard when he is rich and famous. And he's like, love it. He takes a minute. A postcard.
It looks like he's
do
yeah.
it.
It looks like he was going to negotiate.
I know. Harry pays Navin $1.10 per hour. Navin makes it a habit of sending his savings back home at a regular intervals. That's a good boy.
That's a good boy.
Mr. Harry is really nice. He's teaching me to be impatient. All right, well, I gotta go. I can't just sit here writing postcards all
what
day.
do you think I do? Write letters all day?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Over a period of time, Harry starts to trust Navin and even leaves him in charge of the gas station
Good idea.
when he goes out on a date with his wife.
Yeah.
It's like, you see this? I only get this because I'm rich. So don't screw it
Well,
up.
so literally because he has a gas station. He's not, I mean, he doesn't really seem rich.
He doesn't, but he's got that until you see that car and it's like, oh,
He
damn,
got a
maybe I should own a gas station. It's so then a car full of thieves roll up in to buy some gas. Navin says that they have to pay by credit card. He's all alone, and the owner asks him not to expose the cash at the gas station to customers, but he immediately shows them the $23 or whatever he has.
Yeah. They're fanning it out like it's a shit ton of money.
I know.
There's just ones.
It's a bunch of $1.
Maybe like 1.5.
Yeah. And then Navin realizes that the credit card is stolen. Navin calls the cops, but then attaches. Oh, yeah, he calls the cops. They're here. I got them. I was trying to stall them. I've seen this in a movie. Ties the car to the church. And then he goes and he's like, tries to get them to stay. So, and then ends up they're like, hey, can I have that money? He's like, yeah, sure. Because he thinks he's going to get it back.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I know how to stall them. It's like, oh, you're our 8th customer. Here, I'll go get you your free oven mitt. And then he walks away like,
Got him.
Fucking losers. He goes to the cop. Yeah, y'all take your time. Y'all don't have too much to worry about. I got them right where I want them. They're like, do you guys really want an oven mitt? And just drives off. The church goes. In the church, you got like the bride on the church that's still there, and the part that's moving, you got the like groom. They're like, no, and like jump off. They're going like 2 miles an hour.
Immediately get out. Yeah.
It's like, I guess this is a perfect kind of thing to explain. Like, there's a bunch of like kind of small jokes that are like, kind of funny in this. But then it's just like, it all culminates to being like, what the fuck? This is great.
Like, we just call the police. They're like, yeah, it's a car pulling the church.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, just any blue sedan that's pulling a church should do. But it's like, eventually, like, the joke lands so hard. It's great. But my favorite part is just like him walking away, being all cocky. Like, that shit, whatever Steve Martin is doing, I love it. I don't know. It's so wild. But yeah. And then like Harry comes back. He's like, hey, good news. You lost a church too. It's
that was pretty good.
And then, but then the local phone book comes up and he's so excited because his name's in print.
Hell yeah, he made it.
Things are going to start happening to me now. Cut to. God, looking at a phone book. All right, you random bastard, Navin R. Johnson, you run-of-the-mill son of a bitch. I'm gonna get you. I like, God, who thought of that? It's so good. But that is how it feels like with snipers, you know?
Yeah.
That randomly kill random people.
It's funny that he's just mad at him for being a random person.
Yeah, just you random.
How dare you be the person I picked out of the
run-of-the-mill son of a bitch. It's so funny that it's just like, you never know what words are going to be put in a sentence that are going to, if you just repeat them, is going to be very funny. But 2 words that seem to always work, bastard and son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch.
It's always funny. A son of a bitch always gets me.
Yeah, me too.
That's what she said. So As the madman watches through his rifle scope, waiting for a clear shot, Navin fixes the slippery glasses of a customer, Stan Fox, by adding a handle and a nose break.
These two guys in this scene, they're so funny. Just two really high energy people feeding off of each other.
Come on, change my oil. I ain't got it all day. Oh, yeah, right this way. Oh, let me put my glasses on. Oh, dang, my glasses. It's like, hey, dude, put your glasses on. Stop looking down. But this Stan Fox guy was hilarious with his glasses. Just like his movements and the way he was talking. These damn glasses. These damn glasses. Then Navin's like, I'll fix them for you. I got an idea. But then the customer, Stan Fox, is an inventor who promises to try to market the device to split the profits 50-50 with Navin, then departs. And then this is where we're getting the sniper. You random, average bastard, everyday random son of a bitch. Take that, you run-of-the-mill bastard. Die, gas pumper. So seizing the chance, crazed sniper is trying to kill Navin, but fails, hitting the oil cans in the station. Hey, these oil cans are defective. Come here, look at them. And then the guy's like,
he immediately sees the shooter.
Yeah, Harry's like, hey, what are you talking about? He's not shooting those oil cans. He's trying to shoot you. Get out of the way. He hates these cans. Stay away from these cans. There's so many cans everywhere. He just keeps running, runs to the soda machine. There's cans in there. Runs inside, stands in front of a display of cans. Cans. Starts knocking them all over the place. So he's like, I better get out of here. So he gets in a car. The one car with no tires on it at all, just driving slowly.
I'll distract him.
So the lunatic chases Navin to a traveling carnival. Steve Martin runs in.
It's just carnival personnel only.
Hey, he's not carnival personnel. He can't be in there. But Navin hides out, eventually getting a job at SJM Fiesta shows as a wait guesser. While employed there, it's so good. He's like, come here. All right, I'll guess your weight. What do I get if I win? And then he's like, can give you anything in this area, not above this line, but under the radio and between the pencil sharpeners.
These 2 inches right here.
Yeah. They're like,
including the chiclets, but not the pencils.
Yeah. And then the guy's telling him, like, dude, you've lost 50 cents worth of stuff and you've made $15. So you're fine. He's like, it's a profit game.
So it takes all the pressure.
Yeah, it's like his way. It's kind of like the postcard bit where he's just kind of like thanking, and it's so funny. And it's like, profit. It's like when he finally realizes something. It's so
that it wasn't
funny.
About him guessing the weight,
Yeah,
right?
it's like, hey, you idiot! All these games are meant to be pointless. So while employed there, Navin meets an intimidating daredevil biker named Patty. And has a sexual relationship with her, finally realizing what his special purpose is. It's a euphemism for his penis.
Yes. When the writing home to his mom about it was so funny.
Yeah.
Because the grandma had no
idea. It's like, I finally found my special purpose. I've been using it so much.
I wish the whole family could be there.
Yeah. It's like, and Patty's going to give me a blowjob, so I'm going to make extra money. The brother's like, yikes. It's great. But she's essentially just molesting the guy.
Yeah.
Until he realizes he loves it.
He's like, whoa, yeah.
This is a great ride.
I'm gonna do this all the time.
She's dirty and horny. You can tell so much about someone by the way they live. And I can tell you're generally a dirty person.
Yeah.
Oh, where should I put this trash? Oh, okay, over there. Where should I put this helmet? So that's where it goes.
Just throws the corn dog on the floor.
Yeah. And she also gets a tattoo of his name on her butt, and it means they're married.
She's got a lot of tattoos down there, apparently.
So you got a lot of guys.
I bet more people see that than the phone book.
And then so later, while operating a miniature railway, he meets a cosmetologist named Marie and arranges a date with her, even though they don't know each other or their names. It's another great bit wherever he's like going to go chase the child. Here, take this oil can. Also my gloves.
My keys.
My keys. Oh, also take my wallet. And it's just like, dude, just go. And then you get a really bad bit of him running and it's sped up. And it's just like, boy, we should just. I think it would have been funnier if he just like slowly walked and just caught the kid and pressed it and she's like freaking out or something.
Yeah, I mean, he could have just gone to the other side and been in front of
Yeah,
him.
because it's a train that
It's
goes in
a circle.
circles. And then like it's like, oh, I want. It's like, how can I repay you? How about a kiss? The kiss is gone.
no!
Awkward.
That was really
One
funny.
of the two really awkward bits in the movie.
I can't wait to find out what the next one
I
is.
think we all know.
Oh yeah. But no, it was funny when he brought her back, or he brought the kid back, and she's like, "Would have been so embarrassing if I would have showed up without him."
Yeah, I know. It'd been so embarrassing. Is this your kid? No, I'm babysitting. Oh, and then as like they're like, all right, well, goodbye. He walks away. Yeah,
This is
bullshit. Oh, I did read a fact about that. The kid really wanted to keep that shirt after the movie, and they wouldn't let him.
Oh,
It's like that's bullshit.
that is bullshit.
Yeah. I love when like she's walking away, like keeps stopping her, and it's like, oh, hey, what's your name? Marie. What's yours? We'll give us an icebreaker to talk on our first date.
Something interesting
Yeah.
to talk about.
I just love him constantly stopping her. It's good. Then we see Pat. He's waiting for his date, and Patty threatens him. Even if he looks at a girl, he's like, I took it easy on you. I stayed away from
Yeah.
your balls.
Did this without anger, and I stayed away from your privates.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah, I know,
Scary
right?
lady.
It's like, oh, I guess it's time to find a new job.
It's like dating Hot Rod, but Hot Rod's older sister.
Yeah. So Navin meets with Marie, and they go back to his place.
Yeah,
It turns out to be a box truck where they eat pizza in a cup. Have you ever had pizza in a cup?
no, I've never had anything in a cup
It
except for cup noodles.
sounds like a good idea, though. Just a bunch of melted cheese and sauce and bread and some like pepperoni in a cup.
Yeah, it did sound good when he
Yeah.
was talking
It's
about
like,
it.
that sounds like a meal I should just make. He touches and squeezes her face because she's so beautiful.
Your skin is so
It's flexible. It just goes right back in place. He asks if she has a boyfriend. She says, kind of. Navin, I know this is our first date, but do you think the next time you make love to your boyfriend, you could think of me? Marie, well, I haven't made love to him yet. Navin, that's too bad. Do you think it's possible that someday you could make love with him and think of him? Make love with me and think of him? Marie, who knows? Maybe you could make love. You two could make love and you could think of me. I'd just be happy to be in there somewhere. That is comedy gold. Gold. Suddenly, Patty confronts him and Marie knocks her
Drives
out.
fucking bike in there.
I know. I love it. Like the shit they do with that bike is rad. Driving on the bug.
Yeah.
It was so good. And then you think like, oh, well, that's it. They're not going to get, you're just like, he's going to move on from Marie. No, we just cut to them singing together the song Tonight You Belong to Me, like on the beach. And it's like, wait, y'all are still together? Like y'all are going to keep dating? Like what?
Was he playing a ukulele?
Yeah, he was playing a ukulele and Marie on the cornet. It's a
Yeah.
great song. And when she whips that thing out,
Yeah, where is she keeping it?
so good. It's amazing. And then he's like, you know why you're playing that?
I wish
It's
I
like-
could go up through it.
I was just thinking I could go up through it, go through here, come through there, and then ride up and give you a kiss. It's like, well, why didn't you? I didn't want to get spit all over me.
So what's the thing with them when he tries to kiss her? She just doesn't want to kiss.
Yeah.
Just pushing him away.
It's just like she just said, why didn't you? And then he's like, because I didn't want to spit on me. And then he tries to kiss her. She's like, no. It's like, no, she fights back, even though she just don't want to kiss. It's like, she says she doesn't want to marry someone without a special purpose, but luckily he has a special purpose.
She's down for that though.
Yeah. So they're in bed. Navin R. Johnson, you look so beautiful and peaceful. You almost look dead. And I'm glad because there's something I want to say that I've always been very difficult for me to say. I slit the sheet I slit on the slitted sheet I sit. There, I've never been relaxed enough around anyone to say that. And then he tells her how the 4 weeks they have been together have been like 9 weeks. Should I do it? Should I do the quote?
Okay.
I know we've only known each other for 4 weeks and 3 days, but to me it seems like 9 weeks and 5 days. The first day seemed like a week, and the second day seemed like 5 days, and the third day seemed like a week again. The fourth day seemed like 8 days, and the fifth day you went to see your mother, and that seemed like just like a day. And then you came back later on the sixth day in the evening when we saw each other. That started seeming like 2 days. So in the evening it seemed like 2 days spilling over into the next day, and that started seeming like 4 days. So at the end of the 6th day into the 7th day, it seemed like a total of 5 days, and the 6th day seemed like a week and a half. I have it written down, but I can show it to you tomorrow if you want to see it.
It's probably a good thing she was asleep this whole time. She would have had second thoughts.
Like, don't you wish you could just come up with that? Don't you wish you just like sat down and come up with something that funny? That's what I think about when I watch comedies. I'm like, I couldn't do it.
I wish I could be a writer.
I couldn't write funny. I feel like I have my quirks and my bits I do, like just in person. But I could never just do that.
Yeah, it takes talent.
Thanks, Jason.
Something neither of us have.
Something I don't have. So Navin and Marie, they're falling in love, but Marie reluctantly decides to leave him because of his lack of financial security. He's in the bathtub just like, I'm having the greatest day of my life. Nothing bad will ever happen. He starts singing, and then she starts blowing her cornet. He's like,
so why does she leave?
Because financial security, because her mother said she has to find someone financially stable.
Right.
Yeah. So she writes a note and slips out while Navin is in the bath, where Navin thinks that she has agreed to marry him, but it's just the shithead barking. You got the Thermos song. And then, so then he goes and he like, hey, where are you at? And reads a note.
Because it's all wet.
See, that bit doesn't work for me. I don't know why that bit doesn't work for me. That was what I was like, okay, let's move on.
Yeah.
But then he runs out covering himself with the dog, and I love it. It's completely different dog.
The other dog.
It's a completely different dog too. If you look at it, it's like not nearly as shaggy. And then grabs the neighbor's dog. So just put on
puts
pants.
it back.
Yeah. So then Navin's going to move to L.A., so he tries to say goodbye to Shithead, who can't wait to leave him.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, Shithead, I'm leaving. He immediately runs away. He's like, hey, get back
Wait
here.
a second. You're coming with me.
And he's just like, oh, fuck.
I was just kidding.
Yeah. And then it's like, then whenever he runs, it's like, get back here. You're coming with me.
He's like, and with Shithead leading the way as he's dragging him down the highway.
Yeah, it's so good. So devastated, Navin takes Shithead and travels to Los Angeles. There, the gunman who tried to kill him now, sane, and working as a private investigator, tracks him down and gives him the letter from Stan requesting a meeting. I love it. It's like, Shithead, get him. Attacks him. Starts throwing popcorn at him. It's like the never-ending bowl of popcorn he has. And then climbs a fence even though you can just open it.
Yeah.
Always a good bit when someone climbs a fence and someone just like walks right through.
Yeah, well, I never thought about using a box spring to climb up.
Yeah, that's actually that was pretty
kind of fun.
It's pretty neat. That's pretty neat. So yeah, Stan Fox.
I'm gonna grab every mattress that I find out in the city.
Ooh, you can grab mega bed.
Yes.
I have 2 beds stacked on top of each other. We call it mega bed. It's almost taller than my wife. It's great. It's one of the best things we've ever done.
Nice.
If anybody needs a bed, if anybody needs a bed, we have 2.
Like a double-decker couch.
Yeah. It's like Mega Desk in the office. But it turns out Stan Fox, like, invested in his like eyeglass thing, and Navin.
It's a huge hit.
And it's called the OptiGrab because it's optical and it grabs your nose. And it's selling big, and he's entitled to half the profits. Stan gives him a check of $250,000 as his first installment of his share of profits. But Navin only thinks it's 250 big ones until he goes to the bank. And then he realizes like, the bank's like, holy shit. I thought it was just $250. And then he reads the check and he's like, what?
Yeah, it kind of, they were just looking at it thinking, we're going to take this man for everything.
Yeah. But Navin, now extremely rich, he sends a postcard to Harry and he finds and marries Marie. So Harry's like, wow, the guy said he did it and he did it.
Kid's got integrity.
Guy's integrity. And Marie and him, they buy an extravagant mansion. Their life becomes one splendor and nonstop partying. But I do love the mall shop bit wherever he goes to find her, and they're like, she's put this green like mask over the old man, and then he like gives him $100 and switch places, pulls it off. It's like, wow, this shit really works.
And she thinks it's still her husband.
Yeah, and he's like, hey, get off my husband. Very good bit. And then I was like, yeah, we immediately got married, and it's like, we found a priest pretty easily, and it's just like, you know, very stereotypical, like voodoo type priest thingy.
Something. It's like African, Saharan or something.
Yeah, and it's just like we were very happy that we had a religious wedding. There's like a almost like a voodoo doll and like a little thing. It's like what the fuck? Something that might not have aged well.
That's yeah.
Yeah. So he tells his parents about the house. It's like, you know how I always said that I wanted a pool with hedges shaped with S's. So that's a real mansion that they used. They loved it because it allowed them to shoot like B-roll and stuff on the other side. So like while he's going through the mansion bit, they're shooting that while like doing the dancing scene.
What does the B-roll mean? B-roll,
that's I guess A-roll would be considered like, you know, people talking and like the actual.
But it's not like the Tootsie Roll.
No. It's just like a B-roll is footage you play over while people are doing voiceovers, like in news coverage. Like whenever they're talking about the news.
Showing all the stuff.
Yeah.
And then he's talking over it.
They're talking about a mall and the news, they're showing videos of malls. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm sorry, but like back at the gas station, when the car pulls up, then he reads the paper that the car is stolen.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, a lot of things happen real quick in newspapers in this movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Really
it's
funny.
like everything just immediately happens.
Everything's a gag.
So
anyway, you know how I would always talk to Dad about a spinning bed with crazy pink shit on the walls?
You know how I always said that I wanted a room full of random friends that are constantly around?
Yeah, my own disco dance studio with dancers.
It's like 5 minutes and it's great. It just gets funnier and funnier.
The badass house. Wonder who it was.
And before they got a house, they also had like maids and living there and a butler.
In their tiny little apartment.
Yeah, I love it. They're all like the girls like dressed in like a nightgown and stuff, and like they're just living there. It's great.
And he gives them his weekly paycheck of $750,000.
Yeah. They're like, you should get a bigger house.
Holy shit.
So yeah, now we're in the new house. We see that he's writing the letter still, and that the maid is gonna have to pay a death penalty, because of an early withdrawal. It's just like
what?
It's
firing squad, and it's his wife.
Yeah, it's the butler's wife, and it's like, well, you know, that's the law, so we have to do it. And then I love like later on, there's like constantly, it's like, well, I can't stay sad forever. Just like 5 minutes later. And then we
or he's like, I can't remember what that's like or something, when his wife gave him another gold chain.
Yeah. And then like the butler brings him a drink with an umbrella in it, and it looks just like a little magazine. It says, be somebody. And then the butler says, yeah, someone's here for charity. It's like, get them out of here. So many people have less money than me. And then we get it, and it's like,
it's cat juggling.
Yeah, the preacher, like a priest comes in, and he's just like, something terrible has been going on in my country. I just want to warn you before you watch this. It's brutal.
I did not remember this part at
Yeah,
all.
me neither. And it's Steve Martin being the juggler.
And when they're juggling the cats, I mean, it's obvious that they're not fake. Real, but it's so
what really gets me is all the cats in the audience. Yeah. People brought their cats in the audience.
Everybody's going fucking nuts holding cats.
Like, you know, I like cockfights, so they always like have their chickens in the audience. It's like in this, they have the cats in the audience.
Like they're gonna get in on this action.
I just hate to see what the world's coming to, though. So some people come over trying to have him open some apartments, which he pretends to know everything about.
Everything they say is a bad idea.
He's like,
unethical as shit.
Yeah, and he's like, yes, that sounds lovely, because he has no idea. And he will do it until they say that they will keep black people out, and he gets upset and he thinks he's black still, and goes all Bruce Lee on him. This is the part that didn't age well.
The slow burn kick-ass scene.
Because instead of black, they're saying the N-word.
Yeah, with a hard R.
Hard R. Yeah. Like when that was happening, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot.
You're looking at one.
You're looking at one. And then we have the bit in the restaurant where he wants the newest wine possible. And then you got the snail bit where he's like, don't look down. I can't believe that you have snails here. It's like you expect a fancy place like this wouldn't have snails in
Didn't
there.
she just order the escargot?
Yep. And then he's like,
Man.
I told you we should have got our cheese sandwiches that you talked us out of.
Escargot is pretty. Have you ever had it?
I never had
It's
it.
pretty good.
Ugh.
I had it at
Is
Disney
it
World.
gooey?
No, it was kind of like
Is it sticky?
the way they prepared it
Is it
was
sticky?
it was very like meat, kind of tender, like little pieces of meat almost.
Cool.
And it was very salty.
Very. Ooh, I love a little bit of salt.
They're pretty good.
And then we got the knife throwing bit. It's like, you know how you told me to spend money on useless
Why
hobbies?
are they throwing butcher knives?
I don't
Those
know.
are not the knives you throw.
Yeah.
And why is a bullfighting guy teaching her how to do it?
Don't know, but
What is happening in this movie?
turns out this movie is a little bit wacky,
Are
Jason.
rich people just silly?
Yeah, I guess
Is
so.
that like, I guess.
Yeah. I would have probably spent my money more like Blank Check did in the movie Blank Check.
Yeah. All kinds of fun shit.
A lot of go-karts. A lot of go-karts.
Your $1 million.
Yeah. She tries the knife throwing bit, doesn't hit a balloon that he just for some reason had in his pocket.
Yeah. Do you have a balloon?
Yeah.
No, wait. Oh, yes.
Yeah, I do.
Yes.
Almost hits his penis, and she gets all sad and like, I'm not good at nothing.
Oh, man.
Then later we're at a dance party and an interview comes on with Navin, but it gets interrupted immediately because a motion picture director, Carl Reiner, the actual director of the movie,
Oh, nice.
files a class action lawsuit against Navin, claiming that the invention caused his eyes to be crossed and as a result, the death of a stunt driver in the film he was making. Because like the car for a full minute like wrecks. Then he's like, cut. Always a good bit. And then like everybody at his party has those glasses on. They take them off. Like,
It's like a magnet for your eyes.
yeah. You know, I was thinking, I was like, no, that's so dumb. But then I was like, oh yeah, that would be terrible
It
to
looks
look at.
Stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think anyone would ever wear them.
I don't
to
know.
begin
I
with,
feel like if
but-
they brought that now, people would be like, this is kind of cool.
That
This
would be
makes
kind
me
of fun,
fancy.
you know, throwback.
But I mean, the handle to like take it off, like, because that bit when he says, because I wear glasses.
Yeah, because
Where he
it's
takes it off, it bends them. Yeah, my
That is
glasses
true.
over time get like
Yeah,
looser and
mine
looser.
always do that.
I'm going to have to freaking get new glasses.
Opti-grabs.
Just
Let's
need,
do
to
it.
get, just need to get contacts.
If we ever take part in a 70s night somewhere,
Hell yeah.
I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to try to find a way to get some of these opti-grabs and
Opti-grabs,
just
yeah.
dress like Steve Martin.
There'll be like 5 people in there that are like, that's a good
Yeah.
joke.
Everyone who would have gotten the joke has been long dead.
Or they'll be like, you know what? That's actually from the 1979. So technically, like, you should do more 1975 stuff. It's too close to the 80s. But yeah, it turns out nearly 10 million other people have the same complaint, including the judge and prosecution, because they all are cross-eyed, and are rewarded 10 million in damages.
So he has the right $10 million $1
$9
9
checks.
9 cents.
It's like, why even sue him at that point? The guy that originally sued him is probably pissed. So yeah, he writes 10 million people a check for $1.09.
He probably had the option to have him printed,
Yeah.
but wanted to be more personal.
Yeah, I guess so.
And
So-
his pants are down.
Yeah. So Marie comes in. She's in her dress from her old ratty dress from the beach that looks perfectly fine and normal. Just be like, I just miss us. I miss the way we were on our first day. She's got her fucking cornet with her still. And then so essentially they're breaking up, and she regrets requiring Navin to be rich. Turns out money doesn't solve everything. So Navin's like, all right, then. Well, I'm going to go then. And I don't need any of this. I don't need this stuff. And I don't need you. I don't need anything except this. Picks up an ashtray. And that's the only thing I need is this. I don't need this or this, just this ashtray and this paddle game. The ashtray and the paddle game, that's all I need. And this remote control. The ashtray, the paddle game, the
And this
remote
chair.
control.
And
That's
this
all I
lamp.
need. And these matches. The ashtray and these matches and the remote control and a paddle ball. And this lamp. The ashtray, this paddle ball, the remote control and the lamp. That's all I need. And that's all I need too. I don't need one thing, other thing, not one. I need this. The paddle game and the chair, the remote control, and the matches for sure. Well, what are you looking at? What do you think? I'm some kind of jerk or something? Roll credits. And that's all I need. walks outside. The ashtray, remote control, the battle game, the magazine, and the chair outside. And I don't need one other thing except my dog. Shithead growls at him. I don't need my dog.
And then like all of his stuff gets taken from him immediately.
Yeah, everything. And then he's just walking the streets with his pants down, all his stuff.
It's his thermos.
And then he gives it all away so he could get this thermos. The thermos he said he was going to get Marie. His story now told, he reins himself to a life of misery and memories of Marie. But to his amazed joy, she suddenly appears along with Navin's family. And some more good news. Having carefully invested the small sums of money he sent home throughout the film, they've become wealthy themselves. They pick him up off the street. He and Marie move back home into the Johnsons' new house. The exact same house, just times 2. It's very identical. Everything's just bigger. That's it.
It's almost like they just kind of widen
big.
The shot a little bit just to make it look bigger.
But it's like the door's like 2 times bigger than everybody. It's such a good bit.
Well, in my memory, I thought the rocking chair the grandma was sitting in was bigger too.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah. I thought everything got big.
That probably wouldn't have been safe.
Yeah.
Especially for grandma.
And now, once again, Navin dances on the porch to folk songs.
Yeah, he's got moves.
This time with perfect rhythm.
Yes.
The end. Beautiful. A story for the ages.
Ending. Just a happy black family in Mississippi.
Yep. It's like, now is Marie black now that she joins the family?
That's how it works.
I mean, if it's just like you're in this family, you're black, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Love to see it, Love to see it. So we're going to hit our first category. The good, the bad, the ugly, the fine. So where we discuss the good of the film, something we liked. The bad, something we didn't. The ugly, something that didn't age well. The fine, something that did age well. So the good, I mean, it's Steve Martin.
Yeah.
And just like all his little bits.
The constant gags.
The gags.
You can't take a breath. There's no time to think. Damn. There's always gagging.
Sheesh. The only thing that gags more.
Oh no! Don't do it, Jesse. Don't do it. Step back from the ledge.
God, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna say it.
Gag reflex is crazy good.
I'm not gonna say it. But yeah, Steve Martin, so good. It's just like even like his this the small stuff he did in the movie. It was killing me. Just like the tiny little
dance he does when he first learns how to dance. He just kind of like walks forward, walks back. And then
it's so good.
On my way.
It's like, why is it funny? I don't get why it's funny, but I love it.
Good.
All right, what do you got? Same thing?
I said the constant gags.
Constant gags.
I guess. But they're all pretty good, I'd say. Like almost all of them hit pretty well.
Yeah. For the bad, for me, I didn't really put anything. I mean, I felt like there's some points like maybe trim 4 minutes off the movie, but that's all I'm always going to say that about a movie.
Sure.
Yeah. Other than that, I didn't have anything.
I thought the biker lady when she went through that tiny stunt.
Yeah, like constantly
and then fell.
That was apparent. I guess that was the bit, like because she had a rope on her back, so every time she breaks through, it purposely
would just yank her
pulls
backwards.
Her back. Yeah.
Okay, well that's funny.
Man, I don't know. That girl's got something.
I can't really find anything
that
wrong.
That girl definitely has bulging discs and herniated discs in her back.
Yeah, she's probably in a lot of pain.
She's got whiplash.
Or dead.
Yeah.
You think she's still alive?
Nope. The ugly is the inward bit.
Yes, that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
But he does kick their ass.
Yeah. And he himself just thought he was one.
He kicks the guy in the balls.
Yeah.
He's got metal balls.
Still, like, what is it? What they call him? Like steel ballian?
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I had for the ugly.
Sure. Yeah, that's an easy one.
Yeah.
The kind of softball right there.
And for the fine, what aged well is absurd comedies. Gags on gags on gags. Just like
I think this movie aged pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
Like I could not believe that I hadn't seen this in so long.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember any of it, but it was just so funny.
As it started going, I was like, it's just waves over me. I'm like, remember how hilarious this is. Yeah, so that's that category. Now we're going to do double feature, a movie that pairs well like a nice, fine 2025 Pinot Grigio.
A nice fresh wine.
I picked the great, wonderful, funny movie that feels very similar to this, Fletch.
Fletch?
Yeah, it's got Chevy Chase. It's while working undercover, wisecracking newspaper reporter Irwin Fletcher is offered a large sum by a millionaire with a terminal disease to kill him. Intrigued, Fletch decides to unearth the full story behind the offer. It's just it's classic Chevy Chase comedy. It's very like,
That sounds pretty good. I don't
it's
know
similar
if I
to
remember
this.
that.
Maybe not as gag heavy, but like most of the jokes are just gags. God, we gotta stop saying gags. Just keep thinking of a joke. But it's got one of my favorite lines ever. He walks into this girl's place that he likes. She's in a towel, and he pulls up and she opens the door and it's like, "Hey, I just hit a water buffalo. Can I borrow your towel?" Oh, Natalie hates how much I like that joke. But yeah, what do you got for double feature?
I was gonna say, I would want to rewatch The Three Amigos. I know we talked about it before, but I remember it. I love Steve Martin so much, and not everything he's done has been amazing. Sure, but when he's with two other heavy hitters, it's man, I have to watch it again.
And Martin Short and him are just like a great pair. Chevy Chase is kind of the oddball on that one, honestly. But I mean, he's still great. But you'd almost want to kind of see like, I don't know, it'd be like Bill Murray would probably have been the better. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know why I'm saying that. I haven't seen Three Amigos since I was a kid.
But
just whenever I think now, like as an adult, I'm like, oh yeah, I feel like a Bill Murray would be better in that. Like just from knowing Chevy Chase and how I'm like, does he even fit in with those two? Those two are like best friends.
Well, he was just hugely
He's
popular
huge
at the
that
time.
yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, that's a great, man, I got to watch.
Because of like Christmas Vacation and shit like that.
Man, I really do need to rewatch that.
The only thing I remember about it is when they did their little thing together. They slap themselves and then they thrust and cough. What? Yes, please.
Yes, please. So that's our episode on The Jerk. I completely forgot what movie we just talked about for nearly an hour. So make sure you join us next week, though, because we're going to change things up. We're going to get a little bit serious. We're going to get a little bit of sci-fi. We're going to talk about some AI and stuff because we're doing Ex Machina, baby.
Hell yeah. I can't wait to watch it.
Directed by the absolute great Alex Garland. He wrote 28 Days Later. He did Annihilation, Civil War, Men.
Nice.
It's great. Love him. It's got Domhnall Gleeson in it, Alicia Vikander, Oscar Isaac. They crush. There's going to be a dance scene with Oscar Isaac, and you're going to be like, damn, that boy's got charisma. And it's great.
The Riz.
He's got the Riz. He's going to Riz all over everybody. So yeah, join us next week for that. Jason hasn't seen it, so it's going to be fucking awesome.
I can't wait.
Can't wait for him to be like, crikey, that's good.
Man, I wanted to say, after we did Attack the Block, and I feel like there's a theory here. We may have our finger on the pulse of the youth in their generation.
Yeah.
Because immediately after we did Attack the Block, and I did not watch that with my kids.
They started saying, bro.
They started saying trust
all
the time.
Yeah.
Did we?
I think we
did.
Did
we do that?
You know what? The 20 people that follow
us spread like wildfire. Trust, bro.
It is. Well, I mean, I guess that was just like we went from trust to church, now back to trust. Yeah. So, this is a good podcast, so trust us, church, praise. Join us next week for Ex Machina. Leave us some fan mail. It's in the description at the top. You can just click the link and leave us some, or go to the very bottom. And you can go to werecommendmailbag@gmail.com and send us some fan mail or whatever. Just say stuff to us. We'll say it on the podcast. Make sure you leave us some reviews. We'd love to hear you tell us how much you like us.
Yay.
Who doesn't like that? And you know what? We'll tell you how much we like you. How?
And then we'll fall in love.
Yeah. And then we'll break up and I'll just take things out of my house. Yeah. I'd like to thank Joey Prosser for our intro and outro music. You can follow him on X at Mr. Joey Prosser. And this has been the We Recommend Mailbag. God damn. This has been the We Recommend podcast. I'm Jesse.
I'm Jason.
And I don't need anybody. I don't need anything except this dog. Goodbye.